Okay, next we shall discuss transform analysis of LTI system, or in the sense analysis of LTI system in Z plane. We have to take up a few problems on this, but before we solve the problems, I have to give you some information about transform domain analysis. So basically, uh, we analyze the system in terms of h of n. Okay, before that, what is h of n? So h of n is nothing but what? Impulse response of a system, right? Impulse response of a LTI system, right? And we analyzed the system in terms of impulse response for its system causality and system stability, and even for system memory. But memory we are not going to discuss here, but stability and causality we'll just look into it. How did we check for causality in time domain? Actually, what was the condition for a system to be causal? It's h of n, impulse response should be 0 for n less than 0, right? If this condition satisfies, then the system is causal. What about stability? Stability is nothing but its impulse response summation n varying from minus infinity to infinity h of n should be absolutely summable. When you sum it up, it should be less than infinity. So this is the analysis we done in time domain. Okay, but we can even do in transform domain, which is easier compared to time domain. When I say transform domain, here it is Z transform. Okay, so we'll discuss how to check for its causality and stability in Z domain later, but before that we have to discuss system function here. So we have impulse response h of n, right? Okay, what if I take Z transform of that impulse response h of n? So I end up with h of z. Okay, capital H of z, and this h of z we call it as transfer function of a system, or system function. H of z is called as transfer function or system function. Okay, so h of z is nothing but z transform of output y of z divided by z transform of input x of z. Output by input. There is one more formula for system function or transfer function. It is nothing but z transform of output divided by z transform of input. Okay, uh, one more thing. So in time domain, if I have an LTI system, input to the system is x of n and impulse response is h of n. What is the output y of n? Output y of n is what? It is input signal convolved with impulse response h of n, right? So this is in time domain. In transform domain, say I have an LTI system. Input is z transform of x of n, which is x of z. Impulse response is z transform of h of n, which is h of z. Okay, and what is the output? Y of z, which is the transform of y of n, is nothing but multiplication. So it is nothing but input x of z multiplied with system function h of z. This is in transform domain, and this is in time domain. So these two is very important, because in the later videos we are solving problems on this. Okay, we shall come back. Now we shall discuss system analysis in transform domain, in the sense in terms of Z transform. In Z transform, a system is said to be causal if ROC of h of z is outside the outermost pole. This we have seen in terms of signals also, right? Whenever the signal is causal, so causal signal is nothing but what? It's a right-sided sequence, infinite length right-sided sequence. Its ROC will be outside the outermost pole. So similarly, for a system is said to be causal system if its ROC of h of z is outside the outermost pole. Okay, and what is h of z? If you know impulse response, which is in time domain, if you take its z transform of h of n, you get h of z. Fine. Okay, a system is said to be stable if ROC of h of z contains unit circle. Even we have discussed this in properties of ROC, right? If it's a real part of h of z, and if it is an imaginary part of h of z, z actually, and if this is my unit circle, and if say pole is here, somewhere here P, and if it is outside the outermost pole, so in this case ROC contains the unit circle, right? So if that is the case, the system is said to be stable. An example I had given you. Okay, so, and a system is said to be both causal and stable. I repeat again, a system is said to be both causal and stable. All poles of H of Z should lie inside the unit circle. So this is very much important because we are going to use this definition while solving the problem and to show how a system is both causal and stable. A system is said to be causal and stable if all the poles are lying inside the unit circle. A system is said to be stable if its ROC of H of Z contains unit circle. A system is said to be causal if its ROC of H of Z is outside the outermost pole.